welcome, welcome! It's Mud Dog with the Texas Space Navy, bringing you another Star Citizen video. And today, I thought I would take you on a little journey of another bunker raid. Last video of a bunker raid I did with 12 or so org mates. This one, I'm going to do solo. Once somebody commented in one of my videos of that video, why are you doing this with so many people? You can do it easily solo. That is very true. You can do pretty much any of the FPS stuff solo in the game, and it's not too difficult if you know how to approach it. But that kind of defeats the purpose. I like doing things with my org mates to, I guess, kind of use it as a training environment for future ops and for future gameplay. Plus, it's a lot of fun playing with those guys, and I don't do it enough. They do play together quite often, and it's just a lot of fun taking on some of those missions as a group. We're not going to get paid a lot when you do that. I mean, that's what, a 8,000 UEC or 7,000 UEC mission. Split up 12 ways. That's not very much profit, but that's not why we're doing it. Same thing with the 890 jump missions. We don't do those because we're trying to make as much profit as possible. We don't do them together because they're too hard. It's because we're trying to train for future ops. There's not a lot of opportunity to do that in the game other than those couple of missions or some of the missions on the bad side of the law, which not many of us really want to have to work off a crime stat at the moment or serve our prison sentence out. That's just a big waste of time, so we don't do the Price of Freedom mission very often. But there's just not any other way other than homebrew ops that we try to do on Saturday nights as well. It's just kind of a way to get familiar with one another, to learn a little bit more about small group tactics and larger team tactics. That's something that Theaters of War will really, really help us grow and build and develop upon. We'll be able to use those smaller groups with squad leaders, and then having a commander that can control a couple of squads each, or 4 squads at a time. We'll have some command and control kind of aspects of it with trickle down mission objectives and stuff. It should be fairly interesting. I don't know how many of you played Battlefield 2 or Battlefield 2142 way back in the day when it came out in like 2006, and I think it stayed out on the internet till about 2011, give or take, before EA kind of dropped the servers. That game was fantastic with squad-based tactics, with the whole structure, the command structure. And it also had voice over IP fully integrated into it, both with squads and squad leaders and the commanders. So they had multiple channels of voice over IP, and it was done very well. I particularly liked 2142 over Battlefield 2. It was a lot of fun, and I've got a couple of guys actually from that game. Actually, I think at least 3 or 4 guys from that game that are now in my org. And that is something that we're looking to rekindle, that squad gameplay that we had, because it was phenomenal and it was so much fun. So that's kind of the reason why we do all of those missions together, is to kind of start building towards something more, squad based and team based. It's not for the money. We could all go mining or cargo hauling or doing our own missions all together, and without each other, to make the money. So we don't have to do those missions to make the money. You're not going to make much doing it, and they're not too difficult for us to do. It's just a lot of fun, and it's building towards something else. Now, with that said, I am going to solo this bunker mission, and not only am I going to solo it, I'm going to solo it without a med bed. That's right, I'm choosing to do this mission without a med bed. I'm going to take this Vanguard Warden with nothing but fixed weapons on it, to take on this bunker. So as you know, these bunkers, when you do the evict occupants mission on Hurston, they all have bunker defense. They have 4 turrets that will open fire on you. I will say in 3.8 and its family of patches, they would open fire from much further out, like 3 kilometers out. All of the turrets have size 5 weapons on them, so they can do some nasty damage if they're hitting you and you're in a smaller ship with inferior shields. Luckily, the Vanguard doesn't have inferior shields. I've actually got FR-76s on it, 2 of them. That's not the best shields you can get, but they're definitely not the worst. They do quite well. They regenerate decently fast, and they have a pretty high hit point pool. But the other hard thing about these turrets are you can't target them. Even though in 3.9 they don't open fire right away, because you'll see in this video they don't even render until I'm right on top of them. But yeah, they can't be targeted. What I hear in 3.10 is that you're going to be able to target turrets. That's going to be immensely useful. I wonder if that's going to translate into targeting turrets on ships as well. Can you imagine how useful that would be? Going up against a hammerhead and you can take out the turrets? I don't know, just a thought. But yeah, so you can't target the turrets. From the side angle here, you can see how big this size 5 gun is that I have on the nose of this Vanguard. This is just an M7A, nothing special, just a big laser cannon. So we are now a little over 5 clicks out, and I'm just kind of testing the firing range. You can see every time I shoot that gun off, it tries to overheat. I do not have better coolers on this ship like I should, because I just haven't spent the time and money on upgrading every ship in my fleet. That would take quite a while. So I'm now well within firing range of the turrets, and they have not opened fire on me as of yet. There's major cloud cover, so maybe that could be the reason with this windstorm. But now the turrets have opened fire, they've appeared out of nowhere, and they're all shooting at me all at once. So now what I have to do is try to get this size 5 or these 4 size 2s on target to shoot these turrets, and it makes very quick work of them. Actually, I make quicker work with this setup than I do with 4 rhinos on a 600i. Partly because it's a little easier to aim with the Vanguard than it is the Rhino. These weapons converge quite easily, whereas the 600i, they're quite spread out. So yeah, we're going to make short work of all of these turrets, which is really nice, because, you know, you don't want to take damage if you don't have to. Especially when I don't have a med bed anywhere nearby. I'm going to have to do this, you know, straight through without dying. So I'm trying to land here, and I'm noticing, wait a minute, I'm way off to the right. I need to go back to the left so I can open this hatch to where it opens straight away to the door. You kind of have to worry about some of these little bitty poles that stick up, and with bigger ships, they will cause problems when you go to land. Kind of annoying. It seems like there was a shot that just went off next to me, like I missed a turret. I don't know where that came from, and honestly, when I took off, nothing was there to fire at me, so I don't know. That was just weird. Maybe a ship came by that I didn't see. Again, weird. Now, this is an issue with the Vanguards that I really dislike, is this trapdoor and that back door, airlock door, if you want to call it that. They're so hard to find the right place to click on to make them descend and ascend or open and close. It's just a big pain in the butt, and it's something they need to fix. You know, they've got 4 different Vanguard variants, and this is an issue on most of them, especially the Warden. It's just a pain in the butt. So I know there's no bad guys out here, though I wish that they would put maybe 1 or 2 at the door just to, you know, fire out at you when you're trying to approach. I think that would be really cool. So CIG, if you're watching this, put some guards at the door, just inside the bunker door, shooting out at us. That would be really neat. and would make the gameplay a little bit more dynamic as well. And you know, maybe have somebody down here posted up to shoot at us. I mean, who would not guard the elevator, right? So yeah, let's have a little bit smarter placement for guards. Even if the AI is somewhat dumb at the moment, you know, but they can place some guards around here to make it a little bit more challenging or make more sense. These guys are just kind of standing around. As you can see, I was already able to pop one guy in the back of the head. So I am being pretty cautious. Normally with my group, I kind of run and gun because, you know, I know that there's plenty of other guns aiming at all the bad guys. They're going to see things that I don't see. Here, I got to be a little more cautious so that I can see each and every bad guy before they see me, hopefully. And I hit that guy in the head, and of course he didn't, he kind of reacted strangely. But I have a silencer on my gun, which I highly recommend you put on your weapons when you're doing some of these missions, because it's almost like the AI cannot track where you're shooting from when you have a silencer on it. They kind of know about where the shot's coming from, but they don't track you in general. Now, if you don't have a silencer on, they seem to figure out where you're at right away. I kind of got lucky going at this guy here. I was able to pull the trigger before he was, and I just kept advancing and pulling the trigger. Normally, that's the knifing scenario, if I can close that quick, but I was not prepared to do that. I, for some reason, was thinking shoot, shoot, shoot. And there's another guy down below. Always helps if you can take these guys out from a higher up level, so where they don't see you. And now we only have 3 left, so we've already knocked out over half of the enemies in the bunker. I'm just kind of, again, being a little cautious here, making sure I check all the nooks and crannies. The last few guys act really weird. This guy came up from below, and I didn't see him right at first, so I went behind cover, and again, I still don't see him here. So I move up, and there he is, so I'm able to get a few shots on him. He shot me, and then he turned away like he wasn't sure where I went. Again, strange behavior from the AI. So we're down to 2. Again, they're going to show some strange behavior. And now we're going to descend a little bit more. In case you're wondering what weapon I'm using here, is the S71. It comes with a ×4 scope on it. It's considered an assault rifle. I'm going to tell you that I still like the P8 better, and the Custodian I probably like a little better, and maybe even the Lumen. But this thing's got the scope that comes with it's not too bad. And this guy just runs right by me, takes a hit or 2, and then goes over here where I was earlier. It's, like I said, super weird AI. Again, if I was on my toes a little bit more there with the knife button, I could have knifed that guy as he came by. Sadly, I was just not with it during this mission. Again, I'm probably thinking too much about shooting and not enough about the versatility of weapons. Speaking of that, the enemy AI will have versatility to use whatever weapons they want and have to go rearm themselves, or I imagine if somebody drops a weapon, they may be able to pick one up and use it coming up, hopefully in 3.10. But again, we don't know how much AI for enemy NPCs they're going to implement. So I was able to successfully complete this bunker mission solo, obviously, and without the need of a medbed. I did take a hit, so it wasn't a perfectly run mission, and the AI was definitely wonky. So again, there could be some improvements for sure. You know, you can get away with doing certain things when you know what you're going up against. And that's kind of the mission, kind of the deal with this mission, is I already knew what I was going up against. So yes, I was cautious, but I knew I could kind of get away with moving certain places, doing certain things. I didn't have to take cover all the time. Wow, major sandstorm going through. So that's the bunker raid. solo. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, what's wrong with you? Hit that subscribe button. Come back and watch some more of my videos. Also hit that little bell icon to let you know when I do post more of these. I am out of town for a few days, so I'm going to try to get a few videos up for you guys ahead of time. So please check those out. If you're interested in joining my Patreon or my YouTube members, that information's listed in the description down below. If you're new to this game, or it's a game you might want to get, check out my referral code. You'll get 5,000 bonus credits if you use the referral code when you get your first game package. That will go a little ways in helping you get started, maybe picking up some armor or some weapons, something along those lines. This game is a lot of fun and it's got a lot of potential. We're still kind of in the early stages of where it's going to be, so I hope you guys tune in and join the fun. I'm Mud Dog with the Texas Space Navy. I'll see you out in the verse.